Welcome everybody. This is a video I've wanted to do for a long time, but this is everything you need to know about Masterworks in the Lord of the Rings trading card game. Collecting these has been quite an adventure over the last, 5 years, but I want to give you what you need to know, why these are rare, why these are sought after, a little bit of the history, and the total amount. So there are a total of 45 Masterworks, and the treatment is across 6 different cultures. So not every culture had a Masterwork treatment, and we'll go through all of that. But let's start at the very beginning. So Decipher reset the game with shadows, and they decided instead of foiling out everything, they're just going to foil out 18 rare foils. So you see this little RF. So there's 18 of these in set 11. And that's kind of all there is. So if you think about rare foils, there's 18 and across sets 11, 12, 13, 15, 17, and 18. So it adds up to, I believe, 108 total rare foils. Is this valuable? No, it's not. It's worth maybe, a couple bucks or something. But they get increasingly rare. So starting with set 12, they started to think, well, what if we did rare foils and then we also introduced this thing called Masterworks? So rare foils are about 1 every 6 packs. Masterworks, which is signified by this little circle down here, starting with set 12, or 1 per booster box, or approximately 6 times as rare as a rare foil. So they started doing this treatment, and you can kind of see it looks radically different. They have like these different borders, and I also note they started tinkering with this as the sets go on, but there's 6 different races or cultures. So there's a Gandalf Masterwork, there's a Gondor one, there's a Nazgul, and we'll see some of the other ones. But I want to compare what a Masterwork versus what a rare foil looks like. So all the Masterworks are also rare foils. Think of it this way: there's 18 rare foils, and they decided we're going to pick our favorite 9 to make into Masterworks. So if it's a Masterwork, it's also a rare foil, just looks different. So 2 ways to tell the difference here. 1, the Masterworks always have that little circle down there. And 2, they just look way cooler. So you can see here, the Balrog has this sort of like, almost like silver glint here. This is probably one of the least cool templates, but it's got like kind of like orange versus like the gray, and I'll compare more. I have a few more examples, but generally the Masterwork treatment looks cooler. This is the only Moria Masterwork they did, because I think there just wasn't really any desirable ones, but probably one of my favorite Masterwork cards is the Balrog. So we're going to leave that up there. So what are these worth? Set 12 Masterworks, maybe all 9, maybe 200, 300 bucks. I'm not an expert in all this. I bought this stuff piecemeal, over the last 5 years. So I'm not going to like sit here and be a price expert, but things get more expensive as you move along. So set 12, overprinted. Set 13, Bloodlines, which is such a cool set name, kind of got underprinted, right? Because they saw the numbers that weren't selling from set 12. They thought, okay, let's scale back a little bit. So you have these 9: Celeborn, Galadriel, Legolas rather, Gandalf, Palantir, Aragorn, Denethor, Éomer, and Theoden. So you see almost the different treatments. This is the elf treatment, and we'll compare. This is a normal Galadriel rare foil. So she goes from kind of like blue to this sort of like silver here. You can see a little bit more like jazziness here. I don't know what to call this, like like scripture almost. So these are the 2 compared. It becomes more distinct as the sets go on, because I think the designers started like figuring stuff out a little bit. But so essentially you had, in addition to the other ones, you had Elf, Gandalf, Gondor, Rohan, the Nazgul, and then Moria. And those are all the variations. They didn't do anything for Sauron. They didn't do anything for Sauron, Orc. I think there's people speculate they just kind of got lazy near the end because there wasn't as many designers on. I also want to just put this aside and show you something kind of funny that I noticed as I was doing this video. So this is set 13. What are all 9 of these worth? I don't know, maybe like $700, $800. You're starting to kind of get to like, they're $100 a piece. There's 9 of them, so maybe $900. But starting with set 15, stuff starts getting really, really expensive. So this is set 15. There's 9 of them. So you have a Legolas, Gandalf, Quickbeam might be one of the most expensive one, Aragorn. These are also just like all like these are all main characters, right? Maybe not Quickbeam, but But like, this is a funny one, Madril. So you go from like Aragorn to this guy that gets speared, and like the Rand Osgiliath, Aemir, and then a couple Nazgul here at the end. So this is the Nazgul foiling, which is pretty cool, I think. There's a bunch of those in the Black Riders, as you'd expect. There's a bunch of Nazgul represented there. I think it's like almost half of them are Nazgul. There's 4 different Nazgul and then a Nazgul card. But one thing is I was doing this, so I don't have a complete set of 19 or 17 rather. That is probably the most expensive, finishing out 15 by the way. So maybe, I think I got this full set for like $800 off eBay like 2 years ago. I'm not looking to sell. I'm not looking to buy. This is just what I paid. I have no idea if they're more or less. I'm going to guess it's maybe like $1,200 now for a full set or $1,500. I'm happy I have it. A lot of this stuff is just impossible to find, which is a good segue into set 17. These are like the rarest of the rare. I only own 2, and each of these is like $500 or $600. If you can even find someone selling them, they're just really hard to find. So this is the Throne of Minas Tirith and Gwahir, the Windlord, which is such a random. They started kind of getting a little like experimental with what they did. So this is the rare foil version, and these rare foils are also very hard to find. And then the masterwork here, so you can see kind of the different colors. They went with like kind of more of this brown, earthy tone. You can kind of like see these like almost like lines in the card, like a feather or something design there. So there's 7 other ones that I do not own. There's a really expensive Aragorn. That's probably the most expensive card in the game. That's, I don't know, $1,000, $1,200 or something. One of the more expensive cards in the game. So that's set 17. I would say those are the most expensive cards, full stop. If you think like, what is the rarest? It's probably the set 17 Masterworks, not set 18. Set 18 is also very expensive, but set 17 full Masterwork set, I don't know, like maybe $6,000. I don't know, $5,000. It's just like I say that number, and I'm like, I don't know who's going to pay that, but also I don't know anyone selling this stuff. So there might be low demand, but there's also very low supply, and I only own 2, and that's after like 5 years of kind of like looking everywhere. So moving to set 18. This is the final set, and I think the Masterworks in this are a little easier to find. I have a few hypotheses on why. I think maybe more was printed and more was just like left with distributors, right? And they sort of like clearing out the warehouses. It was a final print run before, I guess it was set 19, but that was like a fixed set. So maybe just more ended up at like the big distributors and just like more product out there. And I think 17 was like a really short run because the company was closing its doors like imminently. So you have this Boroning Axe, Radagast Herb Bag. This is randomly, I think, the most valuable one here, this axe. It's a very good to play. It also looks super cool. I wanted to compare this. So this is the Masterwork here, and this is the non-Masterwork. So you can kind of see it's silver in color. They added this like differing pattern here instead of this one. What else did they change? Obviously, the whole card looks phenomenal. I wish you guys could be in person to see it. You can kind of like see the snowflakes on him, and just really cool card. So this is probably the most valuable card from set 18. I think one of these just sold for like $700 in eBay. Insanity. So we'll go through this herb bag. This is where, it kind of gets a little random, like Crown of Gondor. Did they need to masterwork this? Denethor's sword? Like that, Watcher at the Sarn Ford, or Arekenran's horn, his shield, the Rohirrim diadem, and pull of the ring. Like, as far as coolness of these, like this is like kind of like the bottom of the barrel for me. Like I don't really care about Theoden's crown, the Rohirrim diadem, or like some shields. But I think that the designers were just maybe using, this actually looks pretty cool. There's shininess there and the lettering. These all look phenomenal. This might actually be the least interesting looking one, but the artifacts I do think are really nice in foil. But one thing I want to note is I think that the designers, so if you look at, this is from set 13, this is a masterwork, and then this is from set 18. Look at the change in the Rohirrim, like the size of this. Right here, it barely comes, below the card. Here, it's like all the way down. It feels like someone at Decipher just decided to like, what if we enlarge this by 20%? and I'm sure there's other little changes on here. Could also because it's an or a possession or artifact or whatever, and it's not a character. But I just noticed that, and it feels like they had a few templates they were using for Masterworks, and they kind of tinkered around with them a little bit. But a full set for people curious of set 18 is maybe, I don't know, like 3,000 to 3,500. I'm just like spitballing these numbers because I'm not selling, I'm not buying. This is just kind of my best guess, but let me know what questions you might have. I'm trying to think what else I wanted to show off here. So there is a total of 45 of these to collect. I am missing 7 of them from set 17. I don't think I'll ever get all of those 7. So I might just stop here. I guess I have a total of 38 then. But really cool cards to collect, really fun, sort of rarest thing in the game. And there were 1 per booster box. I mean, that's in theory, of course. I think it's 1 per 36 packs. So you could get lucky or, I guess very unlucky with a booster box. But, the big, really valuable ones are going to be Boring Axe, and really all of them from set 17 with special attention to the Aragorn Defender of Rohan, which is like $1,000 plus card. So cool stuff here. I might do a video on the rare foils. Those aren't as fun to talk about, but let me know if you have any questions. It's always fun to do more videos talking about collecting this, and forgive my Star Wars TCG background here. I just can't resist. But thanks for hanging out. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and we'll catch you guys later.